Hello, it's Nathan. In this video, I'm going to give you a quick mindset hack that's going to help you expand your treble clef note reading exponentially. Okay, so once you know this, you're going to find yourself being like, "Oh, well, this is easy. I didn't have to stress or panic over this." All right. So first of all, please like and subscribe to the channel. Here's the handle there. Obviously, if you're watching this video, you'll already be on here. What I thought I would do, rather than me making a image which probably won't come out very well, I thought I'd just go do a quick Google search for some stock images. All right, so stock images here. So excuse the watermarks. I think it illustrates the point well. Yeah. Okay, so what you see in front of you is essentially how music is communicated in a written form. Okay, how melodies are written out, how rhythms are written out. Okay, sometimes chords as well. Sometimes chords will have a chord symbol. We'll talk about that on the channel. If you want me to talk about specifically how to interpret chord symbols, then please leave a comment down below and I'll get to make a video on that one so you can actually have more of an understanding or have some more tools at your disposal to help you make sense of chord symbols. Okay, so for this one though, we're going to talk about individual notes. So if you're completely new to this, okay, we write down music in a written form like this. We have 5 lines and 4 spaces, as you can see here. We count from the bottom up. So first line, second line, third, fourth, and fifth. Now, depending on what symbol is placed to the left here, tells us a couple of things. One, what piece of music, or the composer that's composed this piece of music, what instrument they have composed for. Okay, so this symbol here is the treble clef. Okay, so treble sits in the higher range of frequencies. If you've ever seen an old stereo, there was a bass, dial, mid, and then treble. So bass sits down the lower end of the spectrum, mids are in the middle, and trebles up high. So instruments that produce a higher pitch. So for example, the flute, the electric guitar, the right hand of the piano, female voice, generally speaking. There's always exceptions to the rule, but generally speaking. A couple of saxophones playing the treble clef. And there's a couple of others as well. I think I said the flute. If I haven't, then the flute, definitely. Okay, so higher pitched instruments. Okay, so let's have a look at what these are here. Depending on, there are 2 positions or places that we can actually position these rhythmic symbols. So these little symbols here, the filled in circle with the stem, that's a rhythmic symbol. That indicates how long in terms of beats, okay, that you hold a note for. Just like we have a heartbeat. Every piece of music has an underlying beat. Okay, so again, if you want me to do a video going into a bit more detail with that, please let me know. But suffice to say, every piece of music has a heartbeat, like we as humans do, or any living creature does. Okay, so when I say beats, we hold notes for a certain amount of time. How many beats do we hold a note for? 1, 2, 8, 12, half, quarter, that kind of thing. This symbol here is known as a crotchet if you're in the Commonwealth, Australia, the UK, Canada, New Zealand. If you're in America, this is known as a quarter note. And this is held for 1 beat. Okay, so that's what the symbol means. Now, depending on where the circle is actually positioned, whether it's on a line, like here, or in a space between the 2 lines, tells us, and then again, dependent on the clef, tells us what pitch of the musical alphabet the composer, or the person that has written down these instructions, again, if you haven't seen my first video, it's just instructions. These instructions tell the musician what to play. So we have letters of the musical alphabet here that are underneath these notes. So these letters correspond to these pitches. Okay, so when I say the pitch, I mean a frequency. I mean a note that you can find on your instrument. So if you're a guitar player and a bass player, you'll be able to find those by putting your finger on a fretboard, on the fretboard, one of the frets on the fretboard. Okay, if you're a piano player, you'll play one of the keys. If you're a saxophone player, you'll blow into the mouthpiece and open and close some valves. All right, that kind of thing. So here is here is the trick. I'm going to give you the first one here. So this is an E. Every time I see anyone that plays music in the treble clef sees this circle written on the bottom line, okay, the first line down here, you see the line that goes through the middle, that means play an E note. Okay, what I want you to do is focus your attention on the note above. So when I say above, I mean going up, so ascending, okay, going up the mountain, climbing, raising, going higher. All mean the same thing with music. And then obviously the flip side is going down, flattening, descending, diminishing, lower. Okay, I want you to look at the note below and above and tell me what you see. All right, so if you're paying attention, you will notice that it's the letters of the alphabet. The note below this one is the letter before it in the alphabet, D, E. The note above this one is the letter after it in the alphabet. Now this applies to any note you choose, okay, whether it's sharp note, whether it's flat note, or whether it's just the natural notes here. So what I like to do, here's the hack. Any note that I pick, or any note that I see on the piece of music, if I see this one here, if I then see this note as the next one to play, well, this is the very next location that a circle could be placed after this line, because again, we go up, we go line, space, line, space, line, space, etc. So if you have a note in the middle, let's say you have here E, then instantly your brain should then know the note below it and the note above it. Okay, so D and F in this example. If I saw this note here, A, we'll put that as our middle note. Instantly my brain knows G and B, the note below and note above. How is this going to help you? Well, first of all, it's going to help you because if you see circles that are in close proximity to each other, you know that the letters are going to be close together. Ergo, flip that coin around. If you see this note here, which is an E, and then the next note you see to play is this one, well, we've gone a few spaces up, haven't we? Yeah, we've gone the interval of a fourth. We'll come to that in another video. Again, if you want me to cover that, please let me know. So that one's a bit further away because there's a clear gap between this one and this one. But what we're doing is we're instantly having one note, and then our brain is computing quickly the note below and above. Now that's going to help with quickly identifying notes. Because in terms of melodies, if you're trying to sight read a melody, for example, often melodies will be in what we call step fashion. Not all the time, but there will be a combination of steps and leaps. A step is essentially the next note up or the next note down, and a leap is when you skip, as the name suggests, you leap over a note, or leap over two notes, or a huge leap over three notes. Okay, you're going to hear my voice changing there. So, that's how it helps you in terms of melody writing. You know, if you see a circle that is really, really close to the one you've just played, either just below or just above, then you should know the letter instantly. So the process for then putting this to our instrument is going, okay, what note am I being asked to play? Well, we know by the letter. Okay, now the letters won't be there. That's the whole point of reading music. We're transferring this symbol, which is written on the bottom line of a set of 5, with this squiggly line looking thing. Okay, all right, that means E. Okay, now I need to find E on my instrument, whatever that instrument is. And the process of doing that over and over and over and over and over and over again, you will get quicker and quicker and quicker at it, just like anything. And that's how you can read music, just like you're reading something in English. Yeah. All right, so I hope this was helpful. Hopefully this hack makes things click into place for you, okay? When I sort of just discovered this, I was like, oh, well, of course. Another way that things are often taught in terms of notes and reading music is the idea of using mnemonics and using acronyms and that kind of thing. And I understand that to a point. It sort of gets a bit confusing though, because you can make up anything, and you're sort of starting to skip things, and then your brain's sort of missing things in the middle, and it has to sort of has to fill in the gaps essentially. But this way, it's a bit more methodical and logical. So you're kind of anchored in the middle note. You know what's below and what's above. Okay, so then that will help you. Essentially, by knowing this, you've got 3 notes in one. 1, 2, and 3. If we go to D, well, I instantly know that it's C and E. F, instantly know it's E and G. B flat, or B flat, instantly know it's A or C, because B is between A and C. If it's F, I know it's E and G. If it's A, I know it's G and B. If it's C, I know it's B and D. Okay, and this is just all from the alphabet. So the trick is to work out a note, have it as your center note, and then work out the note instantly below and above, which will then you will then be creating more reference points in your brain to notice, oh, well, I know that's an E, so that has to be a D, and that's got to be an F, because this is the trick that Nathan taught me. Right? Okay, so hopefully that was helpful. Please let me know if it was. Please let me know if there's anything else you want me to cover. All right, so I'll leave you with that, and all the best for your music making. Talk soon.